Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bearding Without Borders, the Monstober edition. We're going to just go ahead and roll straight into this. I'm actually really excited about the guest that we have on tonight. It is a good friend, and I'm actually really excited to get more of his story. But we're going to jump straight in with a fun beard fact of the week. Did you know that it was actually common practice for Norsemen to earn their nicknames relating to the appearance of their beard, such as like Silkbeard or Goldbeard? Now, with that being said, the most famous Viking nickname relating to facial hair belonged to the first Viking king to officially rule England. His name was Sven Forkbeard, who was also the son of the great Danish king Harald Bluetooth, and he was declared king of England on December 25th, 1013. Now, we're going to go ahead, kind of jump into this. This is, of course, this whole month has been dedicated for Mad Viking and going into Monsters Ball, Monstober being the name. So I actually reached out and got us a great guest tonight. He is known very well in the Mad Viking circle as the Party Viking. His Z name is also Crafts, and we'll get into that one a little bit as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want to welcome onto the show Mr. Brandon Barnes, Pennsylvania Beard and Mustache Club for Mad Viking president.
What's up, everybody? Oh, look at me all fancy on the screen. All right.
And that took like zero time for you to go ahead and get in there and rub the nipples.
Stuff like that. I mean, we got to get that right out the gate.
I mean, at least we got it there. So
honored to be here. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing good. Been a very interesting last couple of days. But, you know, we're here tonight. We're going ahead and I will go ahead and say this out here is that this is a previously recorded episode, guys. So we are doing this on a different night than Thursday, but it'll be airing on Thursday night. And Brandon has a very busy schedule going into Monsters Ball. And not to mention he's got his whole house of chaos with his kids and whatnot.
That's why we had to do it a special time. Once I NyQuil'd all those children and locked them in their room.
So now we're gonna show a picture of you and the kids here in a little bit. And I just need you to tell me which one is chaos and which one is carnage. That's what I need to know.
Well, if I have to pull one, I'm gonna say chaos is definitely Maze and carnage is Jackson for sure.
I can see that based on stuff I've seen on your social media. So
and sometimes Maze has a touch of both for sure. So,
well, look who their father is. So
true.
So how are you, man? How's things going?
Good, man, doing good. Keeping busy as usual, like you said, like normal 9 to 5. But then when I'm not at work, it's usually something related to the ball or something related to the club. With the we're still selling the gun raffle tickets, so I'm pretty much that's why we're doing this on a Wednesday, because tomorrow I'll be in Zelienople, a little town not too far from here, setting up a booth. We set one up every week there. So
see, I thought you guys finished up the gun raffle this past weekend. So
no, we were collecting the gun raffle tickets from people that have were issued them, and unfortunately I got some back, so there will be some at the ball for sale. So that'll be something
we'll get into, and I think we got a picture of that going in tonight, and the way we can show it out there. And just make sure you get us some information that we can post up onto the page for your gun raffle, so we can try to help push that out a little further. We're almost 2 weeks out, a little over 2 weeks out from Monsters Ball. How's the vibe going right now with Pennsylvania?
It's going pretty good. I was just actually talking to Sealant the other day and our other officers, and we were touching base on all the little last-minute things that always get forgotten up until the day of the event. So for the most part, we got our entertainments booked. As you can see by some of the posts that Sealant put out, that Hall put out, we actually got some special guests that are going to be there on top of our 80s band. So we'll talk about that a little bit later too with some pictures. But vibe's doing pretty good. We're like I said, we already had, because of the neutered ball last year by us not having it, we already had all our skate decks purchased. So that was something that was nice. So all the people that sponsored and for all the trophies, we didn't have to buy those. We were sitting on those from last year blank. So So that worked out. That's going to be a nice savings for us, to roll into this event with. But yeah, no, the hype's getting pretty good.
That's good. I mean, you guys came in with a good bankroll already. I already had most of the product. So, that means that's more money to go towards Pennsylvania Children's Hospital. And we're going to kind of dive in a little bit because, you've been with Mad Viking for how long now?
I've known of the club and been a part of it for about 7 years now, going on 8.
So how did that come about? How did you get into the Mad Viking Beard Club?
Well, let's start with where the beard came from, right? So
Yeah,
I'm an avid
okay.
hockey fan. I watch the Penguins. I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and I watch them. And every year they, in hockey you do the playoff beard. So naturally, I would always grow one every year before the beginning of the cup, because I was usually pretty clean shaven. I used to have like a little chin strap. I know you can laugh at me later. I used to have the little chin strap with the little almost Fu Manchu here, and it was like half an inch thick, And so I would clean shave that and then start a beard. And win or lose, if they would lose, obviously I would shave. If they won, so for instance, Krista, she didn't like the beard. Like I said, when she first met me, no beard, and she would actively root for the Penguins to lose when I'd be watching them, just so she knew that I would have to shave. So when they won the 2016 Stanley Cup. Naturally, yep. I'm not shaving the beard because they won the cup. So I had a decent, maybe 3-4 inch beard going. Well, then flash to the next season, we go to the Stanley Cup again. And I got a pretty decent beard at this point. We're working on almost 2 years at this point. And entered their beardathon. They do a beardathon. I ended up winning playoff tickets to the game because of my beard, right? So, then they won it again that year. So now we're 2 full years of a beard. And my cousin, Sean Regis, who had already knew of Mad Viking and was starting to grow a little bit of a beard, he messaged me on Facebook and said, dude, you need to go compete. You need to go check out this comp that's put on by these local people for charity. I didn't even know that competitive bearding was a thing. I mean, I had seen pictures of like the birdcage guy and a few other people in the bearding, but I didn't know about competitive stuff. I knew the artsy stuff. And so I went and checked it out. I was like, bought a horned helmet, which I don't have in here. I should have brought in too, but bought a horned helmet because that's what I thought Vikings had was horns, and went to the comp, met everyone that I've currently friends with, realized how much fun you could have at a beard comp and for it to all be for a good cause. And I was hooked, me and the wife. We won a few things on the Chinese auction. I tied for 4th that year with Gerald Burek. One of the people that I was actually in line with at the registration. Matter of fact, same day that I met Michael Wallich, because he was in front of me in line. But was hooked from day one. And then, the more I started to find out about, they are a local company. Mad Viking looked into it, went the following year, was lucky enough to get second place. And, or actually, wait, let me take that back. Yeah, second place. So that was this deck here. That was the second comp I ever went to. And like I said, from that point, it was like, I got to get more of this. And that's when I actively started looking for beard comps and, other than our area. And yeah, it's been fun, man. Like I said, our club formed shortly after this year. And I quickly, joined as a member and, everybody welcomed me like a family and me and the wife. And like I said, hit the ground running. And here we are, 7 years later in this journey with Mad Viking. I'm the president of the chapter,
So, that's an awesome story. Like, I actually forget that there is such thing as the playoff beard. I don't get to watch a lot of hockey down here in Kentucky. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
I used to catch it every now and then, so I forget that there's such thing as a playoff beard. So that's actually pretty cool. That's the most unique way I've heard about going with the beard so far.
Yeah,
in the stories.
Like I said, it felt like a lucky charm to me because, like I said, I won the playoff tickets, right? Matter of fact, the day before that I got the call about the playoff tickets, I was actually out at a bar. There was a Dogfish Head giveaway going on, and I ended up winning this real cool little portable record player, right? So I won a record player. Then the next day I win playoff tickets, and I called my wife and said, I'm never shaving this beard. I said, this thing's like a good luck charm. I said, I can't lose. Sad part about it was the Pens actually lost that game, the game that I won. I got interviewed with their reporter. They put me on their website and everything, and but they ended up losing the game. They eventually won the series, but they lost the game. But
Right.
Like I said, by that point, I was already like, hey, this beard's not going anywhere.
For better or for worse, it's mine now.
Right.
So that's like, honestly, that's like I said, that's definitely probably one of the coolest stories I've heard so far with why you grew the beard. I'm sure there's other stories out there similar to that, but I know that in hockey, like you guys take that real serious.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I'm superstitious, so that was one of those things where, if they win, I wear the same jersey that I wore that previous game, and I mean, a touch of OCD when it comes to my superstition. So, like, I mean, even Kristen knows there's been times where like she would wash it. Like I, maybe I'm not so good at hanging up clothes and stuff, so I might throw it on top of a basket or a drawer. And she'll see it. And, oh, she wants to wash it. I come home and realize she washed my jersey with a win. I'm like, you just washed a win off that. That's how superstitious I can get sometimes.
Wow. All right. So now, like we mentioned, we said that your Z name is Crafts. You're also known as the Party Viking. Where did the origins of these names come from?
Well, Crafts came from my one of my good friends.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, here, better yet, we'll say Party Viking. We'll talk about Party Viking. So
yeah, let's go with that one.
Yeah, that picture right there, that's the epitome of Party Viking right there. You got to have two things to have Party Viking besides me and my beard. You got to have my Speedo, and you got to have that horn helmet. So Sealand actually gave me that name, Party Viking. We went out right after. So I originally bought that Speedo for the Polar Plunge that we do here locally every year. So the first year that we did the Polar Plunge, I used that as like a bargaining chip to talk people into doing it with me. Because I said, hey, look, I'm going to be there doing it in a Speedo. If I can do it in a Speedo and a Viking helmet, you can do it in whatever you got to wear. So, like that picture there, that's, I think, year 4, I think, that we've done it.
See, just for the record, like Sealand really captured magic in that dive shot, though.
Oh, for sure. I wish I now that we're talking about this picture, I wish I should have sent you the picture of, so Zach, Mad Viking's newest, everybody's seen my registration pop up before, right? With me in the Speedo and this helmet. Well, Zach, the new Mad Viking video guy, that's currently the backdrop. That's right behind his chair. So if this is his computer chair, that's what he looks at in his background. So see, they had it in the bathroom for a while, and then like I said, then it was in Sealand's office. He likes to move it around the warehouse occasionally, but yeah, he got that one. That was just perfect. Like I said, he sent me, after he took that picture later on in the night, he sent me just myself cropped, and he had me flying like I was Superman across the screen.
That is honestly, like I said before we even started recording tonight, like that is one of the best captured moments.
My
the helmet and just hands all the way out.
My favorite part about that picture isn't even me. It's Josh Oakes holding his nose. Full-grown adult male jumping in with his nose held. It's okay. We love him anyway. That's our VP.
Okay. Actually, I'm excited. I'm gonna get to meet a lot of you guys, people that I've only seen online, and like had brief instances of chats. So getting to go to Monsters Ball this year and actually getting to meet a lot of you guys is going to be a really good time for me, because I'd love to get to know Pennsylvania a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's a good place to be. Like I said, we have a lot of fun in everything we do, whether it's just at a monthly club meeting or making breakfast.
Making breakfast.
We talked about this earlier. I might have to start a new thing where I send you if you're in need of breakfast, I can make pancakes really well. So we might start vacuum sealing those and sending them out. You can see my wife absolutely loved my pancakes I made for her.
Just send out a dickogram. Just
right. Yeah, instead of gummy dicks, I can send pancake dicks, right?
Hey, absolutely. Like I said, I'm just waiting for that one to show up and be like, why is there something green on this? Honestly, these are hilarious. You make these.
Well, I made that. That was just an average morning in my house. Well, I made normal ones for the kids, obviously, but the wife was. We always make the food for the kids first, right? And then I'll make it for myself and the wife for the oldest boy. But so she was waiting, so I made her that nice little pancake, and she actually took that picture herself. It made it the background on my phone.
That's amazing. And this is, of course, is the kids that you were talking about. We have
Yep, that's two
Mays
of the
and
three.
Jackson.
Yep, that's Mays and Jackson. Yep, that's like we were talking about chaos and destruction, and that right there is a fine example of chaos and destruction together. You separate them. It just depends. One might get the other trait. It just depends on the mood they're in for the day.
I would say I have this feeling like after this picture was taken, like something got destroyed in the background, like 30 seconds later.
They were actually really being good that day. I forget what we were doing. We were outside doing something, and I remember sitting down. Forget. Oh, we were actually playing a game because they were being chaos in the house. So to kind of calm them down, we were sitting out there, and we play this game occasionally if we're sitting on the steps where I'll get them to guess the color of the next car that's going to come down the street, and they love it. It's so simple, and it's like you wouldn't believe how many white cars are around this neighborhood, but they love just sitting there. Like, so that was a fun day.
That's you have a beautiful family. You really do.
The only one's missing, and I didn't even think about it earlier, was Sid. Yeah, he's like my number two whenever I'm out selling raffle tickets. Everywhere we go, he's always eager to help. Matter of fact, he was even walking through earlier. I was able. We had a couple extra club shirts left, so I was able to buy one for him because we didn't get one on the initial order. So,
right, that's awesome.
He was pretty stoked about that.
So now, so what you guys have got? Of course, Monsters Ball is your big event each year, and then that represents right. You got and it goes to help out for the Children's Hospital Foundation in Pennsylvania.
Yep. So our official 501c3 is registered for Children's. That's our primary charity. That's what the mass majority of our funds that we raise throughout the year go to. Usually what we do is we focus Monsters Ball purely on that. This year we did it a little bit different because of the raffles, the limited amount of raffles we did this year. We only did one, and we're still not done with it. So this year what we're going to do is, because we found out as long as we give the more to Children's than we do, for instance, Semper Fi, then it won't affect us on our taxes or anything. So what we're going to do this year is we're actually going to split the proceeds from Monsters Ball between the two charities. Obviously, Children's will get a little bit more, but that way we're able to help both of our charities this year with a decent donation, because last year we did two gun raffles last year. And the first one we did primarily for Semper Fi Fund, and we raised $12,000 for them. So this year we even though we had more time with canceling last year's main, the beard comp, we still found ourselves behind on planning for this year. So it was kind of a little mix of us, a little mix of the big guys. It was just little mix of less participation from a club standpoint, but I think at the end of the year, though, with everything that we have lined up with the sponsorships we've already sold for this year, we're still going to have a very good donation to be able to give to our charities this year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Last year you guys were able to raise, I think, with the combined effort, because you guys had Ace Hardware that matched, wasn't it last year?
Yeah. So last year our total was $30,500, and then we found out that was the first year that we found out through our Children's Hospital contact that we could, if we gave in the month of February or November or December, they always had corporate sponsors that would match, and we were lucky enough to give in December. Yeah, and Ace True Value was triple matching, so yeah, they turned it into 91.5. So it was pretty awesome. And the best thing about that is, so that goes to the free care fund at the hospital. So that means your kids could be sick, and you could, and you happen to be in Pennsylvania, you could take them to Children's and you wouldn't get billed a dime, and and your kids would be taken care of. So that's what we give to every year. And that's, for the people that need it the most. Obviously they have the Radiothon and other companies and sponsors, or not sponsors, but other charities that give to the other funds at the hospital. But we focus on that free care fund because, like I said, it helps everyone, no matter where you're at. You can even be from another country. If you happen to be here and you need to bring your kid here, that's all free.
And that's amazing. Like I said, anything over 90, that's some serious money to throw at a charity from just a couple of days, and some fundraising over the span of the year, like that's some serious money to throw
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And I said, and a lot of that was, like, so for instance, last year we did a similar gun raffle to this one, not the same guns, but same amount of tickets, similar money spent. And we sold out in 2.5 months on the first one. We were so excited that we actually went ahead and got a second one and started a second one. The second one we did, we actually split between children, Semper Fi, and then we also helped fund our polar plunge team so that we had a nest egg for that. And we came up, I think, about 100 tickets short of that one, but due to the time, we ended up just drawing it at our Christmas party, so that way it was all drawn in the fiscal year for last year. But even that, we still ended up splitting. Like our polar plunge team ended up with $7,000, and then more went to the total for children. So this year we have this ticket going on. I just collected a bunch from all our members at our Saturday or monthly meeting, and we have roughly, I'm going to say, somewhere between 300 and 400 tickets left out of the 15 to sell. I got a pretty big event coming up here this weekend. It's like a fall festival, 2-day event, and I'm hoping to get rid of a bunch of them there. But I think no matter what, we will have some of these tickets at Monsters Ball available. Our goal would be to draw the winners there. That's what we want to do. We want to draw the winners on Saturday live on stage. So if there's anybody that's going to be watching this that's from out of state, you can come and buy one of these tickets, and you can either go and collect your prize while you're here and drive home with it. I don't know what the legality is depending on your state, but you could also have them transferred right to your local shop. So if don't hesitate if you're interested in these to get one off us, because like I said, as long as your state can accept transfer, because all three of these firearms are currently up at Ultra Firearms in their raffle room. And once we pull the winners and give the winners' names to them, they're actually going to pay for the background checks on all the winners. So literally you show an ID, fill out the background check, pass the background check, and you collect your prize.
So let me get this right. So the gun raffle is going to have a first, second, and third.
Correct. Yep.
On that. And how much are the tickets?
They're $10 a piece. Like I said,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and so you're basically getting 3 chances to win per ticket. Like I said, the Ultra has been really great to us. I mean, every year that they've supplied us, this is, like I said, our third gun raffle with them. And every time that they've done it, they literally give us the guns for what they pay for them. They don't charge us anything extra. Like I said, they're covering the background fees. The only thing they ask for us that we put their name on there and we direct people to come buy ammo or accessories or guns, and it's been really great partnership with them.
And I mean, these are all great guns too. And so at $10 a piece, you really can't beat the price on these gun raffle tickets. So if you guys are looking or in the market, you want to go ahead and put money towards a good cause and win something really cool out of it, you need to jump on this. So this is one of the tickets, obviously one of the close-ups of the tickets.
Yep.
So if you're in the Pennsylvania area, you said you're going to be at a festival this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be in Zelienople, Pennsylvania at their Fall Fest Saturday and Sunday. Matter of fact, Israel Barkley and Amber will both be there too. They're going to be selling some arts and craft stuff in a booth right beside me. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
all right, so this is our musical act for Monsters Ball.
Yep, that's BB Steel. That's our 80s cover band. They're going to play for us both nights, Friday and Saturday. From what I understand, they're going super heavy, hard 80s like on Friday, and then they're going to also go 80s and with a mix of 90s. I understand into Saturday, and we went and seen them. I guess it was about a year ago because we had them lined up last year to play our event, and they were incredible with their set list. They do so many songs like between. I forget what Sealand said. They're like he was showing me because they gave us a whole list of all the songs we could pick from, and they're talking about like a huge list of songs. Like you could listen to them 2 days in a row and never hear the same. Like they're not going to sing the same song. It's going to be all different stuff every night, and they're really good. They literally all the people you see there in that picture, just about all of them play all at the same time. So. They got 2 lead singers. I mean, they do a really good tribute to a lot of these songs. So
that's a major ensemble right there. It really is.
That was the thing that wowed us when we seen them for the first time. We seen them at Jurgles in Warrendale, one of the places we've had our call up at prior, and we were blown away by them. So much so that Jason Hall went down and kind of like a groupie, chatted their ears up and invited them up, and we got to meet them and talk to them. And once we kind of got them up near us and got to explain what we're about and what we're looking for, and they were on board since the day we met them. So, and they're giving us a really good deal. I mean, with Matt Viking's paying for it, but they gave them a really good deal for 2 nights. I think they pretty much cut what they normally would charge in half, because once they seen that we were a nonprofit and that we were for children. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's because music is one of those things at our event that, I'm learning this as I'm going. This is my 4th year being, an officer and being a part of planning this. And, I've seen sealing all across the board, from, sponge to candlebox to, and I wasn't lucky enough to be around for the mushroom head days, but, we've progressively got a little heavier and heavier on our music entertainment the last couple of years. And I think that kind of shied people away a little bit. There was a lot of people that were either it was too loud or they loved it, and there was no in between. So this year we wanted something that no matter, what kind of music you like, if you're gonna find a song that they're gonna do that you're gonna be like, oh my God, that was so good. You're not gonna want to go out and smoke while the band's playing. So I'm
gonna be honest. The year they were gonna bring in CKY, I don't remember if that was last year or the year before.
Yeah, it was last year.
Like that like CKY was to this day one of my all-time favorite bands. So like I got super excited, and then when they canceled and everything else kind of fell apart and became the neutered ball, like that was a little sad. So hopefully maybe one day on the next run or sometime down the road we get them back.
We still got a pretty good connection with them. Like Sealed and them never get rid of the connection. Now here, this is something that Jason Hall has been trying to get. My first year they had the Flaunt Girls there from Sturgis, and that was pretty entertaining. It was like acrobatic strippers that don't completely take off all their clothes. And these ladies here are just like that. They also do not take off their clothes, but they wear some really cool costumes, really cool outfits. And if you haven't gone and looked them up yet on YouTube, I highly suggest it. They're very entertaining, and they're all hot. So
yeah, my wife was actually really excited when she seen that this group was coming in, the Monster Dolls.
That was the first thing. With our babysitter situation, we can't always, she can't commit to coming both nights because that's just a lot, especially with the time frame that I'm going to be there as, someone being there before and after it starts. So that was the first thing she asked me was, what night were they playing? And I said, well, let me find out. And I sent a few messages and found out, well, they're playing both nights. So doesn't matter which night you come, you're going to get a chance to see BB Steel and the Monster Dolls. So
it's going to be awesome. And honestly, it fits well to the theme, to everything that we do, especially right around Halloween.
For sure, 100%.
And this is definitely going to be I think you guys feel like you have to do more this year because of what happened with last year, and then of course with COVID and everything over the last couple of years really kind of brought things down. So this year you guys are really coming out full swing and ready to have some good times.
And like me and Steele and Hall and all the authors have talked about it. Like we want this year, like especially people that haven't been there before or are new to bearding. Like we want you to come to this comp and be like I was the first time I went. Like whoa, like this is awesome. Like so with this venue, it brought its own challenges, but ultimately at the end of the day, with this venue and the entertainment, the visual, what you're going to see from someone out there in general admission spot standing there watching it, it's going to be awesome. It's really going to be a good show, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a full experience.
Anybody that went to the COVID year, the Murder Panda year where we had it at the warehouse, remembers the intro videos that we did. That was our first year trying to do these intro videos for the categories, and it was such a success. I mean, it was a technical difficulty kind of thing. Like they came off. There was some that got played twice, some that got played without sound. It was a growing pain things, but overall, everyone really liked them and thought that it was a good idea. So we're currently in the process of, late as usual, we're recording them. And we talking to Seal, and I'm a star in a few of them. Reaper's in a star in a few of them. We're kind of trying to get a little mix of everybody that is available to come and be part of it. but I was talking to Sheila yesterday. I think we have a few more to shoot before the ball, but I can guarantee you they are going to be extremely entertaining. And it's one of those things that it's a short little thing that just adds a little bit more to what we're already seeing. So
So I'm gonna let you in. I actually heard about this a few weeks back with Sealand about some of the videos coming up, and based on what he was saying, I'm not going to go into detail.
yeah,
Obviously,
I
I want
want
to leave that for the surprise.
he told you about some of the ones with me and Reaper, then, right?
Oh yeah. So I'm actually really excited to see how these turn out. I'm really kind of sad that I'm not up in PA a little more often, to where I couldn't be there to see some of these shot live or get involved. But I'm excited to see these videos and whatnot when they come out for
Yeah, I'm
sure.
looking forward to see that. I haven't got to see any of the edited ones yet. I have seen some of the clips from when we were recording, but Zach is a wizard with what
Yeah,
he's able to do. I mean, he's bringing a whole new level of video quality and stuff to Mad Viking with their advertising and like what we're doing for stuff like this. So
yeah.
it's only
I
getting better. That's
I really want to pick his brain at some point. I'm hoping to actually get to sit down when I come up, because I'm coming up that Thursday before Monsters Ball. Me and my wife are going to be in town, and we're going to come and hang out and try to spend some time with you guys before the chaos ensues
yep.
uh, for the weekend. And I'm actually really excited because I got a few things lined up, and I'll talk to you more about that off the air, because I do want to get you guys involved as well. But I want to pick his brain and see if maybe he can help me kind of cut and edit, and we can kind of start working on a few other projects.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm sure.
so I got a couple more just random questions. So obviously, the Simplify Fund and the Children's Hospital Fund is your guys' main focus. Uh, when it comes to working with charity, how is it, and especially inside the bearding community, how has it kind of changed your perception on things?
Well, I wouldn't say it's changed my perception. Even before I found bearding and charity, I've always tried to find a way, especially since I've had kids now. When I was younger, I was a heathen. I didn't really care about that anything but myself. But as I got older and had kids, and you want to teach your kids stuff lessons that they can use to move forward. From when you're gone. And one of the things I wanted all my kids to know is, like there's so many other people out there that have it way worse than we do. You know, do we have the nicest car? Do we have the nicest house on the block? No. But you know what? I work in Pittsburgh and I see what real poverty is. So, so
Right.
one of the things, one of the companies I used to work for in my trade, used to do a thing called Heat for the Needy, where they would one day of the year that we would go and put, I think the one year we did 27 furnaces for people that couldn't afford it, that didn't have heat, that were using their ovens or space heaters or, you know, electric heaters, whatever. And so I started, they would get our kids involved and family. So you could bring your wife, your kids, whatever. And my oldest son, Sid, he every year, like he would come with me. He was like my little sidekick. He would ride down. I mean, still to this day, I don't even work for the company anymore. He still wears the hoodies that, from the years that we went. And that's something that, he remembers and he sees, going in these houses and realizing like, wow, like there's, people do have it way worse than us. And so like I already had that kind of charity mentality. And then, like I said, once I found Mad Viking, it was one of those things where
It bridged that gap, kind of gave you
correct. Yeah.
that ability to continue moving forward and working with people. And as you said, you wanted to show your kids that you can do more than and be happy with what you have, because some people don't even have that.
Exactly.
Uh, and that's kind of the whole premise of the show. If you've got a chance to watch it at the end of each show, I tell people it's always best to leave things better than how you found them. And the tagline for the show is to leave a legacy.
Yep.
And and I feel like that's really what the bearded community is striving to do, is to leave things better than how we found them, to leave a legacy behind. That way, when the next generation comes in, they can pick up what we've done and continue forward.
Exactly. I like it too that it's also crushes stereotypes because, you know, typically you see a person like myself or yourself, tattoos, beard, scary shirts with skulls on them. Oh man, these people are either bikers or they're crazy. When we were in our infancy of the club, we used to meet at Permane Brothers, a sandwich shop up in Grove City, and we would reserve their little party room, which was right up front with the roll up garage doors. And they were so nice. They let us put up Mad Viking stickers everywhere. I'd bring my one Mad Viking flag. We would hang it up. And I remember one night we were there and there was a couple, they came, they stopped, and I overheard the lady say, because it was summertime, so the garage doors are open. She goes, "Oh, we don't want to go in there. The biker club's here tonight." And I actually went and ran out the door and went, because they were going to literally leave. They were getting in their car and leave. And I caught them like as they were a few steps away from the door. And I said, "Hey, ma'am, I just want to let you know, hey, there's no biker club here." I'm like, "Look around. You see any motorcycles anywhere?" And she looked around and says, "No, there's not a single one here." I said, "Yeah, we're not a biker club." And I proceeded to explain to her who we were and what we were there for, and explain we were there for a monthly meeting. And they came in and sat and talked with us for like a half hour, they wanted to buy hoodies from us. And I mean, it was like one of those things where it was like, prime example. We even said to him, like, the only thing you're going to run into in here is big beards and big hearts. I mean, that's it. And like, still to this day, like, I still get it. When I set up my booth down there in Zelienople every week, it's a pretty hoity-toity kind of neighborhood. There's a lot of people that would, like I said, they see the Mad Viking shirt. I even had the lady, she goes, "Oh, I don't like that with that skull. That's kind of scary." And I said, "Well, I can understand that being scary." I said, "But if you understood what it meant, and the company that's backing us and everything," I said, "that you would love us." And I said, "You would wear one of these shirts." And like I said, it's just like, once you get those people and you explain to them, like, "Hey, no, we're actually a nonprofit. We give money for Children's Hospital." And, you have to almost, there's been people I've had to show pictures to because they didn't believe me. Like, "Oh, we've heard this before. You biker clubs, you all start your little charities and it's just a way to launder money." And I'm like, "Nope, that's not us. That's not what we're about." Like, every dime that we give, we give, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's great to open people's eyes. And the big thing, like I said, that's something we're working on. We're trying to get a website going. I got Scott Hant down there in Maryland, Delaware. They got a pretty nice little website going, and to try to get some uniformness to everything. I know they're talking about maybe trying to use that for all the chapters, at least ones with 501s. So that way, because that's my biggest problem now, is when I try to share it to someone new, all I can do is direct them to either the Mad Viking main page with the link to find the chapters, or I can direct them to our Facebook page. And a lot of people don't do Facebook or don't believe it just because it's on Facebook. So that's something we're hoping to do next year, is to get that website locked down so that we can have, some more legitimacy to send someone like, "Oh, okay, you don't do Facebook? Here's the link. Go check us out. Here's where we're going to be. Here's what we're doing."
And that's the thing we're doing here for Mad Viking Kentucky, because we don't really get, at least I don't get so much as the MC comments so much anymore. Every now and then somebody will ask if it's an MC or a motorcycle club or anything like that. And we kind of, as a matter of fact, I actually kind of had to explain this this past week. I'm also a member of the Independent Order of Odd Fellows. I don't know if you've ever heard of that organization or not.
Yeah.
It's actually very similar to the Freemasons, but they were asking, what have you been doing this year? And I said, I do a lot with the Bearded Mustache Club and the bearded community. And, I've been representing not only Mad Viking Beard Club of Kentucky, but I've been representing the Odd Fellows when I go out to these competitions, because it's important for people to know, like, I love both my organizations, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to kind of merge the two a little bit.
Yeah.
And work on joint ventures between Mad Viking and the Odd Fellows. That way we can kind of pull our resources and work together. And so I wanted to kind of put that out there, and they're like, "Well, that sounds like a motorcycle club."
Yeah.
And then I show them pictures, and then I talk about the money we raised. We've been a part of to help raise money for these different charities, all across, 4 or 5 states, and then talk about, of course, Monsters Ball. And they're like, "Oh, well, that sounds like you guys have been really doing a lot." And it's like, "Yeah." It's like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, "Oh, well, we do this." It's like, so don't, it's one of those things, don't judge it. Like, we get out here and we work hard, and we get to play hard too, but we have very similar goals in mind from the same as everybody else when it comes to doing charity work.
Yep.
And I'm grateful that I've been a part of this family for a little over 4 years now, and it's just kind of wild that this is the first year I'm actually getting to meet a lot of these people face to face, and I'm excited to see what goes on. Do got one more question for you, and I ask this question to everybody: is I want to know your most embarrassing or your guilty pleasure. And quit trying to, you're just trying to show me up now. I see what
I
you're
know. I
doing over
just
there.
wanted to. This is just nothing in. This is just some oil too. So imagine if I actually tried, Rick.
Yeah, well, I mean, bring it. Just go ahead.
So would you say my most awkward? My guilty
See,
pleasure.
you can do either one or both, whatever
Well,
makes you happy.
I'll mix one because this was a very I wouldn't say embarrassing. It was kind of sad, and it was a guilty pleasure. So once my beard got about to this length, I'm sure you realize like when you eat different things, things tend to get lodged in the beard. I had breakfast one day, not penis pancakes, but I think waffles and bacon. We went somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but there it is. Uh, Somehow we ended up at a bar later on in the day. So we're talking hours later, right? I go into the bathroom, step up to the urinal, just give him one of these things as I'm taking a tinkle, and a bacon chunk about that big, like a sizable piece of bacon, fell out of my beard and onto the floor. And I was perplexed. Do I pick it up and eat it, or do I leave it? If it would have been any other floor, right? It could have been the floor at a gas station. If it wouldn't have been a bathroom, I would have picked that bacon up and eaten it. That's how much I like bacon. So
I'm just picturing Brandon just being like looking down and going, shit, do I play the 5-second rule or
well,
not?
literally, that's what I was counting. I was in my head. I was thinking like, all right, bathroom floor, is it 2.5 seconds? I was trying to remember, is there a protocol to this? And then I think somewhere in the back of my head was like, no, probably. This is before COVID, so whatever we were getting before COVID, that's what I probably would have got had I ate that bacon off the floor. But so now after every meal, I thoroughly inspect my beard to make sure I'm not leaving any chunks of meat on the table or in my beard.
I run into that problem every single day, and my beard is not near as big as yours. So, but fun beard.
Fun beard fact. I guess if you flipped it over, it could be like a beard. Is that like a goatee?
Not quite. Not being hateful now. You're just hurting me.
There it is. Looks like a goatee.
Brian Tyler?
You said it. I wasn't. I thought about it, but it would be Scott
got
Hannity. Nice. Not your father's mustache. I like that.
Yeah. It's the only cup I've got with a Mogard. Yeah, I'm not drinking any beer tonight. I got to work in the morning, and I prefer once I start drinking, then I don't have to do anything early the next day.
I figured I'd do one just so I wasn't all like nervous, and because believe it or not, even though I've been talking to people on stage and in front of a group now for 4 years as the president, I still get a little nervous sometimes whenever I'm, especially like on here doing Zoom calls and stuff like that. So it's like my little dose of liquid courage.
Fair.
But you're right. If I drink like more than one of these, I think it's 2 or 3 is when then you start teetering on Party Viking. You know,
we lose Brandon and Party Viking takes over.
Yep.
Speedos come out and
supposedly Party Viking once puked on a Corvette and no, I stickered a Corvette and I puked on my dick. That's how Seal will tell you. I don't believe him. I think he's calling bullshit, but there's no film, there's no evidence, so I'm gonna stick to my story that it didn't happen. But
you never know.
I didn't remember it the next day, so.
Well, Brandon, I do thank you for coming on tonight. I really do. There's so much more I want to go into with you at some point. Maybe when we can come up either at Monsters Ball or around then, or I may have to make a trip back up and come and join you guys one night at PA. But what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and wrap up here today. Any other things that you want to add in going into the end of the show? Something you could say about
If
Monsters
anybody
Ball?
that's
Or
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's coming to the ball, we're still, I mean, we pretty much will accept Chinese auction donations all the way up to the day of the event because we have enough buckets. This year, we're probably going to be lighter. This will probably be the lightest year that we have for Chinese auction, but it's partly because at the venue, we just don't really have the space for it as much as we have in the prior years. So we're supposed to be scheduling a walkthrough with the venue here because it's been over a year since we've been there. And obviously, nothing's really changed in the venue layout wise, but we want to kind of look at it again from another angle and just see what our options are, where we can put things. We already have a few ideas from the first walkthrough, but we're going to iron out all those details. But yeah, so we'll accept them all the way up to the event so we can create buckets for them. So no donations too small, even if it's a gift basket of any kind or whatever. So don't hesitate if you think that's something you can bring with you. Reach out to me, any PA officer, or Maylin Edwards. She's actually leading our committee for that right now. So she's one that's kind of taking ownership of everything, and she's doing a great job. So should be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it with everything we got going on. Like I said, this will be, get to have everybody new and old together. So I'm really looking forward to it.
all right, man. Well, I do, like I said, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's an honor to have you guys on here. I'm really excited about what we're doing this month and covering Monsters Ball because I do think that Mad Viking deserves a little bit of the spotlight for the work that we do. Even though we don't always shout it to the rooftops in the bearded community.
Yeah.
But I wanted to spotlight that.
So. Yeah, no, and I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on here. It's fun. And I think that's definitely something else we can work on moving forward is getting that voice heard a little bit more in the bearded community and getting people and members to go to more and more. I know like I haven't been to any comps outside of PA in a while, but I have been noticing like the ones I do see on Facebook and stuff that we are getting a decent representation of Mad Viking from all different states now. They're traveling a little more. So that's something I would love to see build. And because obviously we go and support their cause, then that gets reciprocated most times and comes back to us. So I think the more we can get out there and get our name out there, it just helps other clubs and chapters get involved. And that's why every year we always have tremendous support from not only Mad Viking chapters, but, other beard clubs that are out there. And I love to see it every year,
So, but all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. And I will, if you want to stay on in the backstage area, we'll talk for a few minutes. I got a couple ideas I wanted to run by you anyway. Yeah. And I'm going to wrap up. So,
all right, man. Live by the axe, die by the axe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, that is the show tonight. I'm actually glad we were having some internet issues earlier when we were trying to get the episode put together. So it looks like it held out pretty well. Just wanted to say thank you very much to Brandon and, of course, Mad Viking Pennsylvania Club for, helping put this together. We got Monsters Ball coming up. That is the big competition that we do here for Mad Viking every year. That will be the October 28th and the 29th of October. So Friday and Saturday, having the costume contest on Friday. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's all 80s theme. As you can see right here in the background, in the picture here, we've got the Monsters Ball logo this year for the skate deck and whatnot. If you guys get a chance, please come out. It's going to be a great time. Past that, the weekend following Monsters Ball, Mad Viking Kentucky and the Independent Order of Oddfellows Merrick Lodge will be doing the chili cook-off. That is turning out pretty good. This is going to be the second year that we've done this. All the benefits and proceeds are going to be going to the Oddfellows Lodge, Merrick number 31, to kind of help with restoration on the building. If you guys aren't making it out to the Circus of Whiskers in Detroit and you're looking for something to do, please come down. It'll be on that Saturday, November the 5th. And I believe we're starting right around 3 p.m. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help. And as for anything else that we've got going right now, I've been kind of sharing it out. You guys have had a chance to see it. We are doing the sticker bundles for the Bearding Without Borders sticker, the Cunts Corner sticker, and of course the Pen Free sticker, which will go to help support the ABR Amputee Blade Runners, which is the one that the charity that Beard Mob Tennessee was supporting with the competition they did a few months back. We still want to go ahead and make sure that we can help them since they were the first guests we had on the show. And then the other part of the proceeds will be going to the Pennsylvania Children's Hospital to help a little more towards Monsters Ball. $10 for the bundle. Email, you can hit us on the PayPal. Just check out the post. I'll reshare it back out probably again tomorrow. We're going to run the pre-orders all the way up through the first week of November. And if we get enough orders in ahead of time, I'm going to go ahead and get some of the stickers sent out, and we'll do a first wave, second wave, and so on. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming on and watching tonight. We do have a special start time next week. We will be doing it on Friday night, and I have 2 guests on that night, and I'm really excited to have them both on, sitting in the same room. And I may drop a hint on that later on this week or sometime this weekend on who we've got coming on the show. But it'll be the week before Monsters Ball, so it's gonna be a good one. There's gonna be a lot of build up and anticipation and excitement going into that. But with that, guys, I do want to say mad love from Mad Viking Beer Club in Kentucky. And remember, no matter what you do, always strive to leave things better than how you found it and leave a legacy. Have a great night, guys.